So...
It's okay, baby.
So, last we left off, for those of the YouTube persuasion, hi everybody, our video recorder fucked up and I don't take had a mental breakdown while the fact that the audio didn't work. As one does. So, this is going to be a bit of a longer recap. After speaking to Malcolm, as well as speaking to Duncan and speaking to Adriana and some flirtatious information being revealed, we cut our way to Yaya, who spoke to Vampire and as well as trailed Malcolm along with the understanding that Vampire was aware of him, but at the same time, not one of his kin. A Dampir, if you will. Upon following Malcolm to the House of Portent, the church that worships Merit, the goddess of portents and mystery. Upon stealthily infiltrating the environment and coming to an undercroft that had protections based around the actual undead and make sure that everything remains rested, what would have been the honored dead appeared to be a very, very, very empty undercroft with nothing in it, even though it's meant to be a filled environment. And upon doing this, not going any further, but having Idris send information to the group to basically give them an understanding of what was actually going on and the fact that Yaya actually was asking for help, which is a new one for her. Thinking before jumping. We do love our character growth, so congratulations with the golf clap. And in doing so, also ended up cock-blocking James from what could have been a potential enjoyable night, as well as giving every single person migraines between of all manner of information, images, and sensory overload to the entire party. Upon doing that, everyone got a rude awakening, went into the Twilight View Tavern, and then quickly made their way to the House of Portent. And upon entering, they interacted with Weaver Monsoon, a tiefling, as well as a diviner, who was pleasant, as well as having Daisy be thrown under the bus by no one in particular, James, as a way to inform them that they also had a diviner, which Daisy mentioned very privately to Monsoon that she may come back to ask about divination, as well as the goddess that kind of encapsulates that domain. Upon entering downstairs into the Undercroft, Monsoon went from a happy-go-lucky priestess to one that summoned a warhammer and was about to go on a fucking warpath.
Rightly so.
Yep. As well as accessing a secret door that led down into almost a completely, almost different environment in total. Something that was more Gothic architecture instead of the French Notre Dame style architecture that the church was made of. And in particular, a very unique type of stone that has been around for a very long time, but seemed to be recently moved in. Upon making their way down the stairs with Yaya, I believe at this point in time, revealed by her own choice, they came across what was then later revealed to be a statue of a haze blood vampire, this eldritch horror mixed with a vampiric creature of a bloated corpse with multiple limbs and tendrils, as well as a row of sharpened needle-like teeth that were all fangs. Upon hearing a pipe organ of sorts being played, they descended into what looked like an arena that was filled with hundreds upon hundreds of coffins that were slowly being opened, revealing many, many haze blood vampires, with Malcolm von Karsten's father, Emir von Karsten, who was a elder of the 13 vampire clans, as well as very apparent, traitor and borderline sane due to his new allegiance with the monsters from the deep, or the masters from the deep, depending who you ask. And upon him gloating that no one could stop them and that no gods were awake enough to stop them, a few phone calls went out, kind of. One was sent to Vampire as a way of going, hey, you have a traitor in your midst and I'm staring right at them. Another was Lupinia being summoned to have assistance, and when she was the first one to come forward, she immediately then backed off, realizing there was a tidal wave of blood and anger that was coming towards the church, metaphorically, as well as James reaching out to his new patron, the Bleak Emperor, and asking, hey, does this guy owe you money? The equivalent of. And the Bleak Emperor just said, no, move yourself 2 steps to the right, I'll give you a finder's fee, and this is not my business. In the more polite way of saying, there's someone here who's coming that's way more pissed. And Vampire didn't appear personally, but sent an instrument of pure destruction, one of his arch celestial beings, a Solar by the title of the Crimson Sin, a pale Solar that had vampiric powers, every vampiric power, on top of his celestial might. Upon which, everyone very quickly left the room as the Solar went to work and ripped and teared through every Hazeblood vampire it could get its many limbs on. With Malcolm in tow.
It wasn't scary.
No, totally not the most terrifying implement of a god's anger made manifest. Totally not. Not like there's 25 other variants of that Solar for each god. But yeah, totally not a terrifying subject or entity. Taking Malcolm with all of you and exiting with Monsoon in tow as well, it was made very apparent that Malcolm and his sister were in league with their father until their half-human side, their humanity, gave them a conscience and morality to more look after the people of Dracum, and realizing that this city that has become a safe harbor for many has a much greater danger that may bring a greater response now that one of their pawns and their peons are no longer in the picture. Additionally, for a bit of worry for Yaya, the Crimson Sin latched itself onto her soul and made it very apparent that Vampire has given it instructions to stick around for a week and prepare for what is to come. And that is where we last left off. So Monsoon is traveling with all of you for the time being, getting people out of the church, as well as Malcolm sending a raven for the guards to go in and do an investigation and make sure that the place is cleared out, even though the Crimson Sin is very apparent and efficient at what he does, but it's still one of those needing to secure the area and cleanse it and then allow people to walk back in. However, Malcolm is walking with all of you, and he's very quiet at present. So, what would you all like to do?
Okay, since everyone's staying quiet, I think Daisy will just let out like this deep sigh of like, well, that just happened. She just had like a little snippet of conversation with Lupinia as well. So yeah, I think Daisy's just gonna kind of say, okay, not to be rude or anything, but I think we all need some rest. We needed some rest before we got to town. We're in bigger need of it now. Let's just regroup in the morning and just not do any more stupid shit tonight.
At least it wasn't a mushroom cloud this time.
At which point Malcolm looks at all of you. What now?
Dude, there was like a big fiery explosion somewhere in the mountains a little over a week ago.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that was us.
Okay.
And yes, no, we also didn't set any trees on fire today. That's also like a piece of pride for us, I know, which is bad to realize, honestly.
It was a big tree.
Shut it.
Wait,
Let's just...
you were all responsible for the giant tree blowing up?
Yeah, sorta.
Okay.
Is it better if we point out
parents like home?
No, we're not gonna go into big explanations right now.
No, I'm just saying it wasn't necessarily a big giant tree. It was our house.
Either way.
Okay.
We're gonna take some rest and let everybody decompress and kind of figure out what happened today. And since it is still the same night after she used the deck of oracles, which we're having some very long days, I must say. Daisy's just gonna go back into the stables.
Okay.
She's gonna find a little corner, grab her little notebook, her little journal, write everything down. She's just writing everything down and she split off from the group. She just power walked there. And she was just like, I'm not dealing with anything anymore tonight. If you call me, I will not answer. Go straight to voicemail. Text me and I'll look at it in the morning. And she's just gonna journal. Write down the things she saw in the vision, write down the events of the night, and, try to sort of in that way get it all out of her mind so she can actually have some sleep this night.
Okay. Yaya, what do you do before retiring for the night?
Yaya's just gonna wander over to Malcolm and I suppose he's sort of like a generation. He counts as a nephew.
In the grand scheme of things of vampiric society, technically he would count as a cousin 25 removed.
She's going, well, nephew.
What you did down there is going to take me a minute to comprehend.
That's quite fine. While you're at it, take 2 minutes, because from what we know is something could well be coming that's your Emir served, and they could be coming to attack this village.
Right.
And I suppose it'd be useful if you and your sister sort of put your heads together and tried to work out completely what Emir was trying to do here. Also, you could put a list together of anybody whose loyalty is questionable to this, and whatever's coming is could well be bad enough that Vampire has given me control of his solar to help out. So anyway, that I think you probably need to have a word with your sister and discuss these things, and meanwhile possibly have a good night's sleep well. What do you want to know?
Okay, good night. As the Raven gets back, and as soon as you're done talking with him, about 15 of the heavily armored guards of the Iron Wall, the what the hell did I call them? The Iron Dragons Brigade, rush into the church, escort people out, and there's a pause moment before you see two of them literally sprint out of the door. As, to be fair, for everyone, before Daisy even wanders off to do the thing that she's going to go do, floating out, dripping from the ankles, is the Crimson Sin, with the sword still blood red in just continual perpetual dripping, with the long ring of red eyes throughout its two steel-strengthened wings. It's equally beautiful as it is equally horrifying to look at.
But yeah, I was probably just going to turn around and look at it and say, thank you for that. Do you think you could assume a form that's a little less scary to the locals?
It takes for a second, it lands, and the wings coalesce around it, and it basically just looks like itself, just slightly less imposing and about 12 feet tall in a large trench coat.
Yeah, I was just going to go a little shorter.
It just looks forward. It doesn't seem to comprehend the concept of discomfort for others, or it doesn't care. At which point Malcolm just goes, comparatively, it's less intimidating with a trench coat on. Compared to the 10-foot wide wingspan.
Night, y'all.
Good. Yeah, and it's like Malcolm has like waving.
I just do like this half-assed salute and just walk out.
Okay, yeah.
Just try and stay out of sight until I need you. I think
you look back in his skull.
That's not a
no sound, no nothing. Just not even like. If any of you were having like a detect good and evil or anything, it just wouldn't even come up. Well, I'll bring my sister to the tavern tomorrow and we can all have a much needed discussion, as I'm sure all of you tomorrow may have questions and we may have the answers. Looks to the rest of the group. Good night, as Malcolm quickly turns and like power walks towards the Iron Wall district.
Fair.
Yaya, what do you do for the night as you turn in?
She's going to sort of like fly into the area where she's probably going to go invisible again and follow Malcolm.
Okay.
Not again.
And then she's just going to perch on top of the roof of wherever he's staying.
So you're perched on top of the giant dragon-esque barracks, because that's where he went. He literally went back to gather his probably office and his abode. So if you're there for the rest of the night, you're there for the rest of the night.
Yeah, she's going to stay there, figuring that whatever was in him that kept her beast at bay might just keep her beast at bay while she's sleeping or resting.
All right. So, while you do that, James, your pouch is slightly heavier due to the finder's fee.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it was a lot of platinum, if I recall. You took. I think you took a little bit of a look.
It was 500 platinum.
Yeah, you got 500 platinum for a finder's fee, which apparently, according to the Bleak Emperor, is a minor finder's fee.
I'm learning quickly that the Bleak Emperor is a lucrative employer.
And a very more straightforward one.
Yeah. Yeah.
As well as a very intimidating one when he has to be.
Oh, yeah.
But he's fair to a T. Whether or not you agree with his fairness is entirely up to the individual, but he is fair. But what do you do for the night?
I think I had intended to ask EI to look at the sword that I had taken off of Inir's corpse. But then I turned around and I was gone. So I'm just like, oh shit. I didn't know what cursed. I'll ask in the morning, it's fine. I'm just gonna stow it.
Yeah, it is a beautiful longsword with gold etchings around the crossguard. The handle is a mixture of what looks like moonstone crystal with black and red fabric, like Japanese samurai style, like.
Oh, the cross wraps?
Yeah, it has that kind of look to it with what looks like a proper moonstone handle in the interior, with what looks like a open pommel, like a hollow pommel. It just looks like a circle with a hole in the center, but made out of pure gold. It's very vain.
This hollow pommel, does it look like is there an obvious opening to the pommel?
Oh yeah, like you literally look at because you're holding it in the sheath, so you're looking at through and it's quite a big hole, not big enough to lose the weight because you actually hold onto the handle while do a balance check, and it's perfectly balanced. So it doesn't look like anything's meant to go in there. It just looks like something was done for it aesthetically.
A decorative choice, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as you unsheath the blade, it looks like a beautiful crucible seal folded Damascus style pattern.
Is it just a regular steel blade besides that?
No. Slightly reflective.
Yeah.
Looks a little bit. You can roll an Arcana check if you wish.
I don't think I would know anything about swords. I know what steel looks like, and that's probably the extent of my knowledge.
Not necessarily. You've done. I will say this: you can roll with advantage because you are taking the time to look over it, and you also are a Horizon Walker that does their research when it comes to targets that have very unique weapons.
Oh, fair.
So that's the way I'm seeing it. In a way of you're looking at this as if a target was wielding it, and you need to understand at least somewhat what it does.
That is a.
See if he's puzzled with it at all. If he's trying to question about this one.
Yeah.
James, if you'd like, I could identify that.
Oh shit! You can do that.
Yeah, I'm also a spellcaster.
Well, I'm trying to identify it myself and see what it is, but
Hey.
I'm only getting so far.
The steel is Fey based. If you could turn, you literally look at it and you realize that the handle, the grip, The handle itself is the entire length of the steel of the sword, so it's actually pure moonstone. Yet looks sharp as hell.
Okay, so the moonstone runs through the entire length of the weapon.
And yet, most Fey or Elven blades, which you gather this probably is, normally have a curve to them. Or if they're like a straight sword, they normally have like a leaf pattern to them in some capacity. Not this one.
So it was made using Fey materials, but not in the Fey style.
Oh no, as you get closer look, like there's sylvan etchings throughout like the blade and the pommel, and then it kind of clocks as to why there's a circle at the pommel. Because you gather an archfey would be spinning this on their finger like a dangerous blender while swinging it. Or you could hook a chain of returning to this and have it sending flying, make it come back, and it's easier to send it flying and bring it back instead of it being a potential of it going straight into your torso.
Okay, so it's less of a aesthetic; it's more of a functional, in the sense of accessorizing, kind of like.
Yeah, it's a bit of both.
Yeah,
it's very aesthetic, but it equally has a lot of use.
Yeah, it's not. I should say it's not just a style choice.
Yeah. It has a function and a beautiful quality to it, as the entire thing almost looks like a work of art.
Well, Richard, can you? Best I can tell, it's made from Fey material. It is a Fey style blade. Are you able to pick out more than that? That's the best I can identify from it.
Possibly. Let me take a look. I'll grab it and then I'll do the ritual casting for identify.
Okay, so this is going to take an hour and 10 minutes.
It'll be. It says casting time 11 minutes.
Okay, so it's an ritual based. Okay, so you take your time and going around looking at it. This, because it's not a legend lore, so you don't get like its full on like length of history. You just get to know what it is. It's a luck blade.
Oh.
Not cursed. And upon closer inspection, there is a little bit of an arcane light to the hollow pommel. 3 swirling orbs.
I know what that is, but would identify say what it is?
Oh, it's 3 wishes.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah, so Richard, you're staring at this, and you're basically, if you hide it, you can do, but I'm going by the assumption of you going, like, eyes wide, jaw drop, of like, there's wishes in this sword.
What you tell me is you decide what you tell me, because I do not know.
Probably what I would do is, as I'm doing like the ritual, get all the information for it, I'm writing everything down on a piece of paper. It's basically like the booklet thing for it, like this is what it does, this is all the abilities it has, and that's what I'm gonna hand over to him. So I'm gonna write down every single thing that I learned about it.
Okay.
So you are telling me about the wishes?
Yes.
Okay.
So while attuned to this weapon, it's a +1 longsword, but it also gives you +1 to all your saving throws. If you're holding this weapon, you can call on its luck and reroll 1 failed d20 test, so long as you're not incapacitated, and it's 1 per day. And you get 3 wishes. You gather if Aenir had his moment, he would have cast Wish and dispelled and banished the Solar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he could have absolutely done that.
Yeah, but he didn't get the option because the minute he was about to say anything, the Crimson Sin beheaded him quicker than any of you could blink.
Yeah.
Because you gather Solar could immediately tell what that was, and so he proved the greatest threat in that exact moment. But as you're looking at it, it just says 3 wishes unused.
Hey Richard, what does this mean? What does 3 wishes unused mean?
I think it's pretty clear. You know the wish spell, don't you?
No, you mean like a fallen star? You wish on a fallen star, and then, you know, you kind of hope it comes true, kind of thing.
Somewhat. It's not quite the you hope it comes true. It's the good chance it's gonna come true.
Now, when you say good chance, what do you mean?
High chance that it will come true.
Effectively, as soon as you say that, you see, you see Monsoon is like her head slowly turns to the two of you, jaw dropped. It's like,
Right, she's still there.
That houses wishes.
Apparently,
it's one of the strongest spells anyone could cast of the arcane persuasion. It allows you to alter reality. But there's massive drawbacks if you alter it. You can literally pull 25,000 gold pieces in lore from anywhere, or give yourself a ton of health, or undo a mistake, or grant yourself immunity from a magical effect for a bit of time, or gain resistances, you and allies of your choice. Like, there's the only limit is what you decide to do with it.
Very powerful.
Unfortunately, when it comes to this particular situation, is you can take a bit of damage, and it does sap your strength for the maximum of 8 days. And there's a chance that you will never be able to cast that spell ever again. Minor, but there's always that option.
I mean,
or you can cast for a technical term, you can cast up to a maximum of 8th level spells without needing components in the spell simply takes effect.
I mean, to be fair, I couldn't cast a wish before, so losing it's not really, you know, easy come, easy go, you know.
Yes, but a lot of people have lost themselves to madness by that spell alone, on the fact that it basically would allow you to do anything within your reason. Unfortunately, there is a wording that you need to do. If you word it incorrectly, it will just happen, and there might be dire consequences if you're not careful.
I have worked with devils before.
Well, this is how do I put this? Picture a devil's contract with no bad repercussions.
No such thing exists.
You have 3 options of that.
Didn't you just say it could have bad repercussions?
If you don't word it correctly.
Oh.
But instead of someone trying to stab you in the back or find loopholes, it just happens. Like, you can wish to become a Lord of Dracum, and a manor would magically sprout out of the ground, and you would gain servants out of thin air that never existed before, and gain all the money of a lord, and everyone would know that you're a lord of the city, for example. You could literally wish to be a king of a castle, and you would gain a crown and become royalty.
I get 3 of these fuckers.
Yes, you could also wish for powerful magic items that are extremely difficult or near impossible to find. No matter what plane of existence they're on, just bear in mind, anyone who has them might come looking for them.
Oh.
Please use them wisely.
How do I use them?
You simply say, I wish.
That seems dangerous.
It's extremely dangerous. That's why I'm looking as shocked as I am, and she's actually taking a small step away from the sword. It has a lot of drawbacks and a lot of repercussions, and if used incorrectly, it has very dire consequences. But if the right person uses them and the intent is there and they word it correctly, they can change their own fate for the better, or changes everyone else's fate around them for the worst. It really does depend on who has the intent behind it. And believe me, most arcane practitioners, of much to my own limited knowledge of the arcane, spend a lifetime trying to learn and master that spell. Just like certain spellcasters try to figure out how to ask a time dragon how to figure out how to make them do time travel.
And I'm just spitballing here. I can't use it to ask for more wishes, right?
Honestly, I've never heard anyone actually doing that before.
It's a very risky situation, because then it kind of starts indulging in like a bit of a loophole kind of thing. You're exploiting the system. It's kind of frowned upon.
Well, by who? You know,
Whatever being is the one that grants the wishes.
I would also like to point out that there are certain, well, there were, as according to my own lore and my own research, certain organizations that were around before the War of Tears and the Age of Dread that came afterwards did regulate the casting of a wish to very, very, very well-studied practitioners, as they understand all the risks and ramifications.
and all of a sudden I can just do 3 of these things.
Well, that is well, that is what the weapon intends.
How do I keep myself from accidentally using it?
I think you have to have the blade drawn, or at least holding on to it, and you need to at least spend some time with it to resonate with it. In other words, you need to attune to it before you can even access the wishes. And expending one of its many charges to use the wish.
So is it like an intent thing? Because if it's somebody's just like, oh, I wish I had a thing of pancakes, but not actually trying to expend the use of it?
I believe it's your intent. If you say, oh, I wish I had pancakes, if we're using that logic, pancakes wouldn't just randomly appear. It's more like you're holding the blade, you're staring at the blade, and you say, I wish.
I start making some notes about like the descriptions within the wish spell.
To put it simply, you can do a reroll of a roll. You and up to 10 people can either be immune to a magical effect for 8 hours, resistant to one type of damage of your choice, or you allow yourself and up to 20 creatures to regain all hit points and end all effects of them listed in the Greater Restoration spell. Or you can create one object up to 25,000 gold pieces in value that isn't a magical item. The object can be no more than 300 feet in any dimension. Or you can duplicate a spell of 8th level or lower, but that does you use up one of the wishes. Or you can reshape reality,
Which is kind of just the everything else.
yeah, but it does say the stress of casting a wish may produce any effect other than duplicating another spell weakens you. After enduring that stress each time you cast a spell until you finish a long rest, you take 1d10 necrotic damage per level of that spell. So if you cast a spell after you cast Wish, you will take a number of d10s of necrotic damage equal to the spell level. And this damage can't be reduced or prevented in any way. In addition, your strength score becomes 3 for the next 2d4 days.
Oh, that's fun.
Yep. For each of those days that you spend resting and doing nothing more than light activity, your remaining recovery days decreases by 2 days. Finally, there is a 33% chance that you are unable to cast Wish ever again if you suffer this stress.
And that, I guess, includes expending a charge to cast Wish.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
The sword takes that stress of reducing the strength score and taking the necrotic damage as if you were a spellcaster and you have access to casting Wish by itself.
Okay.
The sword takes the stress, but it doesn't destroy the sword, and the sword doesn't lose any properties when all charges are expended, and you can't regain those charges once they're used. And you get to only cast a Wish once per day with this sword. But once they're all used up, you cannot use the Wishes anymore, but you'd still get all the other abilities of the +1 and the luck ability.
Okay. And it's a longsword, you said?
It is a longsword.
Okay.
And yes, I just gave the one person who's an alcoholic and has made poor decision making in the past one of the most powerful legendary weapons ever in D&D.
I think you used specific wording that said you said you can undo a previous mistake. Was like in the wording of it, and I'm like, oh, that's dangerous to hear.
Yep.
I saw that look. I was like, you should.
Again, the spell of a Wish allows you to alter reality to a point, and if you try to go outside of its very, very, very murky boundaries, there are so many ramifications that I don't even.
Reason that this is in our hands right now.
Oh, I just gave you a MacGuffin.
If you feel nervous about using it, you could always give it to Kitty.
No,
yeah, because that's gonna go well.
Person. That will be better with that sword, you mean?
Because I will point out, Kitty's been there and listening to all of this as well, because Kitty has not left. So the people who are aware of this weapon are Monsoon, Richard, James, and Kitty. Everyone else is kind of disbanded for the night. At which point Monsoon goes, I would recommend taking time to just understanding the power that you have at your fingertips. Or you can donate it to the city and it will be put under lock and key.
No, it's not happening. Thank you, though.
What's the name of the blade?
God.
Luck blade. It's literally just known as a luck blade.
Well, actually,
you want to know what the actual name of the sword is?
Yes. Well, we have. I'm assuming. Can Richard read Sylvan? I'm assuming Kitty probably can.
I got Common, Elvish, Infernal, and Thieves can't.
Technically, anyone who can read through Elvish have the ability to somewhat decrypt Sylvan. Somewhat.
I have the ability.
Daisy can just read it.
Sylvan.
She's not there.
Is Daisy there?
So, Daisy is not there, but Kitty can read and write Sylvan.
Kitty has slowly walked up because she's still in her direwolf form.
Oh yeah.
Just looking.
So as you look at this sword, it reaches into your mind, and it simply comes with the name Crimson Rivers. That is the name of the sword. As to why, it has nothing crimson about it, or nothing vampiric in nature. You're unsure why it's given that name.
Oh shit.
Is there any kind of... Because I now have a ring that functions to draw blood for my blood hunter stuff. Is there any kind of similar mechanism for blood collection or gathering in the blade?
Not that you can see.
Okay. That was my main thought.
You gather this might require a much more in-depth study of the sword to try and figure out if it has anything relating to sanguiniancy or hemocraft in origin.
Okay. In that case, I will just take it with me to my room.
Okay.
And just kind of sleep on it as best I can.
Okay. Kitty, what do you do before retiring for the night?
Kitty pops out of the dire wolf form because it's probably been about an hour now anyways.
Just about, yeah.
She tried to stay in it as long as she could. Because this was quite the feat for her.
Mm-hmm.
She looks around the church, goes through the temple a little bit, and then, does anybody know of any stores or shops that might be open at this time of the hour of night?
Monsoon just goes, not at present, no. The closest one that would be open would be at 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow.
We've been traveling a long time, and I probably should change out of the tattered clothes we have.
I'm pretty sure if you bring that up to, I believe, Adriana's overseeing your particular band of refugees at the present, she might be able to actually take care of that.
Yeah, her and James had quite a flirtatious moment that seemed to get hijacked this evening.
Well, I can't exactly comment on Adriana's, Mrs. von Carsten's activities, but I am aware that she knows everyone, and if she doesn't know someone, she quickly gets to know them.
Oh, like, gets to know them. I get it. It's alright. You could have just said that.
No, she just becomes friendly with them and gets on positive speaking terms, not doing what the animals do in the dirt.
It's quite an interesting way to say that, but yeah, alright. She's more of the political type who's a nosy individual.
Well, don't get me wrong. She definitely has an allure to her whenever she's coming to my church. She's well, she's definitely the type of individual that would leave in the morning, but that's besides the point.
Oh, I'd love to hear about your drama. Oh,
No,
my.
you don't. No, you really wouldn't.
Why is that? Why wouldn't I want to hear about it?
Because I don't know you, and that's very private.
Well, I understand it's private. Doesn't mean I don't want to know it. I also didn't say I was asking too much details about it. Could you take me as a... How do I say this? What happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors type of individual.
Well, I have not slept with Adriana, if that's what you're implying.
I wasn't implying that because I'm not sure. Clerk types sometimes are funny. In that they all have their ways and following the gods and the goddesses and their preferences of what they see as allowed and not allowed in the worship.
Well, there are certain deities that do expect celibacy among their flock. there are a few that expect those to go out and spread love to all, as it were. And then there are some, like my goddess, who couldn't give two shits if I'm bedding a random individual.
Well, that's quite lucky for you then, I suppose. I'm not really the godly type. They exist. Whatever. I much prefer the natural ways.
Well, the natural ways are, I'm sure, much of enigma to me, as the ways of faith can be enigma to you.
It's fair. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think you're a very attractive individual. I have a little lady, though, who I've been quite celibate towards lately, so I just wanted to tell you that had we met under other circumstances, I may have told you just how attractive you are. I mean, your horns are quite appealing, and all the aspects, they're shaped in quite a lovely way, and you have some very lovely curves, and your attire is quite appealing. And you seem to actually have something going on inside that's attractive as well. And you mean you got quite the package. And I just thought I should tell you that I'm not one to hide the fact that if somebody's attractive, you always note it. Everyone has something, and you have something. You got a lot of somethings. Anyways, if you need a wingman or wingwoman, let me know. I hope you have a really good night. And if you're interested, you could always follow my friend there. He does like to spend his evenings with individuals. And I know he probably is going back to a room on his own. And that's not his preference, even though he's got that sword. Anyways, I'm going to head out of here. And we'll see you later. If you need us, just ask. I got a bartender that I gotta go talk to. I owe him a drink.
Okay. You have a good night.
Oh, I hope to. I also hope you do. You look like you could use something to distract you for a little while.
Well, the one person who did take my fancy is still here, so... Gesturing to Richard.
I walk quietly over to her. All right. Now here's what I'll tell you. Mary, she's a woman in our group. She shared he's quite the more... to be more gentle. He's a quieter type. That is all she's kind of mentioned. I have stayed away from him personally, but approach him carefully. I've yet to see him hit on anyone or anything. Some people like other differences, but enjoy your evening, and I do hope he's a distraction for you at least. I walk back out past Richard, and I look at Richard. I think that the clerk who was with us, she's needing some help with some information she's looking at. If you've got the time, I know she would desperately need some help with it. And from what I've been able to tell, you're quite good with going through the books and the information that I saw you gave James quite a bit of it, and I just keep heading out.
Can I insight check that to see if she's being genuine? Like, oh, she actually needs help with research.
Sure, go for it. Kitty, roll persuasion or deception and don't say which.
21.
Okay.
21.
Ooh, tiebreaker.
Higher charisma stat.
No, that's fair. Kitty, what is your charisma?
I got a 14.
Richard, what's your charisma?
I have a 15.
1 out. Richard wins. One above. So, Kitty, in your description, what the fuck is it that you're actually trying to say to Richard right now?
Kitty is telling him she's a good person to talk to, and she does need a little bit of help of a distraction. She doesn't know where Richard lies on anything, so she's trying to like say whether your thing is an intellectual like discussion that you guys need to have, and that's how you perceive intimacy. She knows nothing about Richard other than he seems to be the intellectual bookie type. From working with Mary, he was more into the books, and Kitty was more into talking to people. So that's all she kind of knows about him.
Okay.
So, before we go over to Richard's whole entire situation, do you go back to the tavern, or do you...
I go back to a tavern to a little bartender who promised me that with a drink, I could definitely get to know him better.
Okay, so you go back
He's
to...
going after the slightly undead individual who's,
Right,
you know,
so you're going back to the Frankenstein
yes.
arisen individual.
Yes.
At present, it has winded down in the Twilight's View Tavern. People have retired to, probably for the very first time, sleeping on beds instead of like sleeping on the ground. You don't know if any of them are going to stay in the beds. They might like just go lay on the ground with their pack under their head, because that's what they've been used to for a while. And Duncan's sort of like just wiping down the surfaces, sees you walk in, gives you an up and down look with his one good eye, and then just goes back to like wiping down the surface.
Sit down at the bar stools, reach into my pouch and say, "This is a good berry. It's a fermented good berry. And you told me I owed you a drink."
Why, my unique elven friend, I believe I did ask for a drink.
This is a bit more potent.
But the question is, will it keep me up all night?
I've never had an issue with it. Shall we maybe close down this place and go find somewhere else?
And we fade to black on that one. Yep. So,
Yeah.
Richard, you are left there a little bit hamstrung outside the church of the House of Porten, the church to Merid, as Monsoon is just escorting people out and just explaining in brief terms as to why.
Mhm.
What would you like to do?
I'd like to speak to Monsoon, kind of slightly in private a little bit.
Okay. And she goes, well, we can always go to my office, or there's always the confessional booth.
Not quite the confessional booth, but I'll keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
I believe from earlier conversations, you guys had talked about a library here?
Yes. Well, we've already drawn blood, so why not? If you follow me. And she takes you to one of the eastern towers. And the ground floor of this tower is box-based. And going in, there is... It's slightly filled, like halfway, but it is filled with tomes and it is filled with books.
No.
Some of these are personal, others are fairly professional types of writing of what we've been able to scavenge from the surrounding areas.
Okay. As we were kind of like walking towards there, can I get a bit of an insight check to see if there's any like familial resemblance to Onyx?
You have to remind me what Onyx is. Is that your spellbook, or
No, it's the love interest from the backstory. I was trying to see if there's a bit of a familial resemblance between the people.
So while she's talking, you're looking her up and down and trying to determine if there is a familiarity between the two. Roll either a history or insight check, and I'll give you advantage on either roll.
I will do insight.
Okay.
Would be 22 on insight.
As she's talking, getting a little bit excited, speaking about the various different books, that smile, the little dimple on the right side. The eye colors are slightly different, but the eye shape is the same. They have the exact same nose structure, except Onyx didn't have a nose ring. The horns are the exact same. As if Onyx had a twin.
You know, you remind me of somebody.
Oh, who would that be? As she's like reaching, looking at a book and make sure it's back in the right place.
As a person I was particularly fond of. Her name's Onyx.
As soon as that, she stops. What was her name?
Name's Onyx.
Sounds like a unique name.
You know, you look a lot like her.
She just slowly turns around at that point and she gives you a look that if she had the ability to disintegrate with her eyes, you're pretty sure you'd be turning to ash right about now. You've seen that stare before through one of the most heated arguments you had with Onyx at one point. It's no less terrifying. Particularly in the fact that you saw her conjuring a spiritual weapon and using it. I'm going to be perfectly blunt here. How do you know my sister?
I pull out a set of rings and just set them in her hand. They're wedding bands.
Onyx mentioned in a letter that she got married to a Batakant. I didn't realize I'd be speaking to that one. Now, Batakan is a infernal note for soul bond. She hands you back the rings. Is she alive?
As far as I know, or at least as far as I'm led to believe, yes. Which that's actually what I came to ask you about for the library. I'm trying to find her.
Wait here. As she goes, and about 2-ish minutes later, she comes back with what looks like a very old and worn tome that has a very familiar family crest on it. One that Onyx has showed you in the past. This is our family heritage. Our father was handed this by his father and his father before him, and it was a very long and storied family. Way back to the first 5 spheres being opened. That's when this book was first written. But if Onyx is not with you and you have those wedding bands, I'm assuming that she is in trouble. That being the case, I entrust these to you. And she hands the book into your hands. We weren't always of the tiefling persuasion. Around about 15 generations ago, we intermingled with... well, you'll see in the book. I'm hoping it might give you some insights. And judging by your attire, you're no stranger to long wanderings and getting into trouble.
It has a way of finding me, I guess.
I can see why my sister fell for you in the first place. And she leans up and kisses you on the cheek. Just keeping updated.
I'll definitely let you know.
You have a good night.
You as well. Would you mind if I kind of look around in the books here?
Have at it.
Thank you.
So, Richard, you can transfer 4 hours, and then for the remainder of the night, you can just go into like full-blown research and looking into the family history of Onyx. And now Monsoon.
Just a deep dive, getting every single note I can.
So you don't need to roll for this because you are literally taking 4 hours of trancing, going through everything that you've learned, bringing that to the forefront with whatever skills and tool proficiencies that come with the trance, because that's part of the special abilities of an elf. You then bring yourself to the forefront with all this knowledge in the front, reaching for books between Elven and Infernal dialect that's intermingled. You look into... There are actually surprisingly a few books here on infernal entities, particularly around the Archdukes and Archduchess, not the Oblique Emperor or the Weeping Woman, which are very well storied here as deities. Those are the ones that, these are like, if you'd imagine the Titans beneath. The very, very potent and powerful 25 variants or 100. It's very hard to tell at any given time. However, going through all these, going through the various tomes and getting to all these things and rolling out, like, you open this book and some of the parchment you have to roll out because it's just extended. So there's more, like, written down until you get to the actual family tree, and you literally, like, are opening different segments and they're all matching together until it covers half of 3 tables. Because this is documented all the way back to the opening of the 5 spheres. And the five spheres, and this is a point in history that not many people are aware of, or even are documented. The first 5 races to be made were dwarves, dragonborn, Goliaths, elves, and halflings. First 5. Tieflings, demonkin, and the various different types of tieflings didn't arrive until the first infernal entities, now you know as devils and demons, showed up about 10,000 years later. Humans, elves. Humans showed up a little bit time after that due to the Mad Harlequin awakening. And the year that you see does no longer exist. You look at it and you just see the long string of numbers that are nonsensical and don't make sense. Even by your multiple languages that you speak, you know their numbers, you just don't know the year and the date. You don't know where, like, because normally in the modern day that you are in, it goes day, month, year, era. This has day, minute, hour, era, done. It's like the longest strip of nonsensical numbers that somehow makes a date. And unless you speak Wolfrad, you will not be able to understand it. And Wolfrad is the language of magic, which can take a lifetime or multiple lifetimes to learn one letter of that language. But as you look, you're like, okay, no, until you get to generation 15 out of 105. So this was like early stage of infernal blood being given into Onyx's family line. And you find that bit, and so you go a bit deeper into that. And you go a bit deeper more of the succubi and incubi that intermingled with the family, as well as chain devils, which surprises you for one, because a chain devil kidnapped your beloved. But yeah, there was a lot of intermingling between devils as well as some demons as well being interjected in. Until one name comes through. Now, I take it you don't speak Shadowcant.
I don't think so, no.
You can attempt to decipher it if you wish.
I will attempt to.
Yep, so it's going to take an investigation check. You can double your proficiency because this is a puzzle.
I already had expertise in investigation.
Oh, then never mind. you already have it, so you're fine. Oh boy, I need to sign in because I need to go to a particular name. If you can figure this out. You got enough to 20, didn't you?
Fuck yeah. Total of 32.
God fucking damn it. Ah, give me a moment.
Also, my phone's taking forever to load.
It's okay, but judging by your face, I believe you. Okay. Excuse me. Right. Getting everything to load. God damn you and your bloody roll.
You did ask I believe it's Inquisitor Rogue.
Yes, I am fully aware of what I asked.
Sidetracked to that. I don't know how, but somehow that dude doesn't really roll low very often. So you shouldn't.
Mhm.
Reliable talent.
It is the opposite. I roll extremely low, like all the time, but I just have good modifiers.
Oh, yeah.
It's
That
very
works.
rare for me to roll above a 13 half the time, and I'm like, oh shit!
That's actually pretty alright. I mean,
You're doing skills and rolls that are specifically to your character. So that helps a lot.
that is true. Yeah.
Baron Argen.
What was that?
Baron Argen. 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 Ruler of Ajuriax, the 12th spinal disc of Comorta. Something then strikes you as ironic. The Chain Devil that is now being tortured by the Bleak Emperor had 12 rolls of chains. That same Chain Devil had 12 slits around their eyes. The same Chain Devil opened 12 different doors to confuse you on which one they went through when they took Onyx. And that is the direct bloodline that leads directly to Onyx and Monsoon. They are descendants of one of the Barons of Hell. By 15 generations.
Could you spell that? You said it was the ruler of what?
Injuriax. So Iduriax. Injuriax. I had a great time coming up with infernal names for 25 different infernal layers. Bear in mind, in previous campaigns, for anyone interested, 2 of these players went fumbling through them by accident. Yeah. One was a forest filled with snakes, and every single tree was a giant snake.
Oh, I remember that one. That one was fucking terrifying.
Yep. Another player went through one that had devils running into an acid sea made of pure black ooze to basically fuel the other layers. And one of you, I believe, just ended up on a realm that was just constantly exploding. Like, each section was just, like, exploding, then reforming, exploding, then reforming, to the point that they exploded, and then reformed as if nothing happened, but had the memory of exploding. James. I believe that was your one, I think. And then all of you ended up on the snake realm that Richard's character was running through in a panic, because I had a sneaking suspicion that Richard's character did not like snakes.
And that fucking Medusa.
Yeah, that was a fun day. Baroness Sezanug. So you ran away from the Archduchess of that realm. No, someone's burning something in my house. Cool, the fire alarms are going off.
You want to take 5?
Nah.
Alright.
Okay.
They're cooking bacon.
Oh, that'll do it, yeah.
That's right, the fire alarms are going off.
Bacon does sound pretty good, though.
Yeah. And smoked as well. Can smell that from here. Anyway, so yeah, that's what you get from this book and the references from other books that you go through. And upon like closer inspection and closer inspection and closer inspection and just like going through it, Baron Argon, or more known as the Baron of Chains, is one of the sole creators of a chain devil. And very possessive. Prideful and dangerous, as most archdukes and archduchesses are in their own right. Still with a natural 20. Gotta give you more, trying to think of what else I can give. Alright. One of the symbols is the same symbol as the symbol on the door that you have to find. You are aware that there are multiple symbols on this door, and the last time you tried to look for it, it nearly drove you insane. Just by even looking at it. And yet, you can look at this symbol, and you're fine. Either that
This is like
or...
Baron's crest.
Mm-hmm. You gather it's almost like an anchor, like a grounding catalyst. If one was to have the symbol of the particular location they wanted to get to, a plane shift might be doable. But you have to find a very specific person or scrolls in order to plane shift. And they're not always guaranteed to get you to the location that you want to go, if you are untrained in the conjuration and transmutation side of schools. So that's what you get as morning rises and Monsoon walks in wondering if you actually left and sees you just like burning the early morning oil with a quill that nearly has run out of ink, as she just walks over and just slowly places like a pewter mug of coffee in front of you just to get your attention.
I'm gonna probably like grab that, just like down the cup. Like I had a breakthrough. I think I figured some shit out.
Okay.
Like Einstein type hair standing all over and
Jimmy Neutron brain blast.
like me when I'm taking notes and then finding something in the notes again, like
Like literally the meme picture of the guy with like the giant like post-it board with the red threads and him just staring like wide-eyed.
y'all can see it, but I've got one of those right here with all the campaign information and notes and everything on it. different colored threads, like multiple color threads. Yeah,
That tracks.
it's bad.
Mhm.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god.
So,
What happened to me?
you got invested. That's what happened. So, morning dawns for all of you. Gain a long rest, regain spell slots, everything that you need. For some of you, it's actually a really nice, like, morning sun that reaches you. That informs you that it is time to wake up. Not unlike the northern hemisphere, that it takes like until midday for the sun to rise fully. But now it's like 8 o'clock in the morning and it's a beautiful sunrise. For one of you, waking up in not a bed, but the remnants of one. With a stitched arisen next to you.
That tracks.
The room is completely sundered, but that's neither here nor there. And for one of you, well, two things. One, it's a nice, even going, crisp morning for one of you who's seeing Malcolm walk out of the Iron Wall, heading directly towards the tavern, with Adriana in tow. It seems that they had a bit of a discussion last night. And for one of you, it's a very painful, like, poking. James, as you're feeling yourself being, like, poked in the cheek by, like, a sharpened talon. Boss, I don't mean to, hi, Gary, your legal aid.
Hey, Gary, what's going on?
Slowly turns around and there are two Bulgara demons behind him.
Oh, please tell me I'm still asleep.
Note taker wants to say that his name was Carl, not Gary.
Oh, was it Carl?
Okay.
It's a very similar
My
name.
notes
Carl.
say he's Carl.
Okay, fine, Carl goes,
Sorry.
yeah, they're not here for you.
How are they here?
Bleak Emperor offered bodyguard protection.
Oh.
I was just not expecting. That's Albert. And you see this, like, giant Bulgara that is literally wearing a 3-piece suit with these tiny pince-nez spectacles on his face.
Is it like the pulled taut? Like the buttons are barely
yeah.
hanging out? Yeah.
Like if you think of like the 1980s Superman when he's in like the built like a linebacker suit, it's like that. So that's Albert, and that's Donnie. And Donnie is like the exact opposite. Like, looks like the most like terrifying bouncer you think out of any like nightclub. Like the big burly individual of just like pure muscle.
Pleasure to meet you too.
As Donnie like exhale and you see a puff of like flame come out of his mouth.
All right.
Donnie's not much to even neither of them talk. So, but you know, I got some good news.
Oh.
And not so good news, and some bad news.
Okay. That's. Well, okay. Let's go in that order. Let's start with the good news.
Okay, the good news is the Bleak Emperor has terrified Asmodeus to the point that the abyss has been made empty by Throne.
Oh, so the throne's vacated currently.
It is.
I feel like that's not necessarily good news.
No, the good news is Asmodeus has been brought back under the internal Infernal Army's wing, and has been demoted down to an imp.
Oh, okay.
As in, he's actually below me in the totem pole.
Oh. At this point, do I look? Is Carl still wearing the
No.
naked birthday suit? Okay.
No, he's actually wearing a full-on suit.
Oh, that explains
Made of skin, but it's a suit.
Yeah, it's a suit.
He's kind of like sitting on the edge of like a bedside table. Hence the promoting.
Yes.
The not so good news is that the throne is no longer empty.
That was fast. That means the bad news is who took the throne.
You know your friend's brother?
Ah, fuck.
And that's where we're in session for today because I'm running on fumes.